the strange object in the sky, and then I placed my eyes upon a small row of white people, who were all staring up into the heavens. They were staring at the thing in the sky. I sensed that they were looking at the dark object for quite some time. Then suddenly the people who gazed up into the sky have simultaneously screamed out in pain. Then I quickly took notice of the skin over and under the eyes of those who had just screamed out. The skin over and under the people's eyes had risen about 1 or 2 feet.
Okay, that's a mistake. I meant to say that the skin over the eyes had risen to 1 or 2 inches, or possibly 3 inches.
And their raised skin was filled with sores and blisters. Then everyone who had screamed suddenly fell upon the ground. I sensed the individuals who had fallen were now dead, because they had probably stared at the strange object in the sky way too long. Then the next thing that took place inside this dream was, now I found myself standing upon the stairs of a home that I believe was owned by my brother. I see my brother's wife at the bottom of the stairs, and then I quickly rushed down the stairs, and then I see my brother emerge from out of a ground floor apartment of this home. Then I ecstatically asked my brother, does he know about the things in the sky? And my brother said to me, yeah, I know about them, and I'm going to keep the pictures from the magazine. Then I looked down at my hand, and I noticed I was still carrying the magazine I picked up from the restaurant I was in early inside this dream. Then I told my brother and his wife, I'm really a prophet, because I dreamt about these things. I believe these objects could be Planet X or Nemesis. Then before I left this dream, I seen 2 guys standing outside somewhere, and these 2 individuals wore shades. One of them wore a pair of silver shades, and the other one wore a pair of black shades. These 2 men had their backs up against a white wall while they stared up into the sky. And finally, before I left this dream, I witnessed a tall white man who wore a large hat upon his head, was getting his house in order so that he can stay indoors for days or maybe for weeks because of what was going on outside. And I just want to say I have made 3 drawings, and the first drawing about this dream, the first drawing in this dream, as you see here, is
the black
3
circles.
snapshots of the strange object in the sky, and these snapshots was, shown here on on the cover of the magazine that I seen laying on a dark table inside the restaurant I was on. And once again, I must say, the cover of the magazine that I seen these 3 snapshots on was black in color. And the second drawing I made is what I seen when I exited out of the restaurant. As you see here, I seen the moon in the day sky, and beside the moon I seen this dark circular object in the sky, and around the object was a red or orange glow. And like I stressed earlier, it was somewhat partially like cloudy day out. And the last drawing I had in this dream is a drawing you will see here that I made. This is a profile of a person I've seen in this dream. And after the person gazed up at the dark object in the sky, I noticed that the upper skin and the lower skin of the people's eyes risen about 1 or 2 feet, and this is a frontal view.
Okay, once again, I have misspoke. meant to say it risen around 1 or 2, 3 inches.
And here, you could see, if you can, blisters and sores upon the raised skin that was over the upper part of the eyes and under the eyes of these people that stared at objects way too long. And the next letter in this piece is the letter T. This is section 8, letter T. There's one dream in this piece that begins with the letter T. There's one dream about a train incident. The first number in this piece is the number 1. This piece is called section 8, One Train Dream, or S8 1TRD. In the month of January 17, 2010, I recorded this dream inside my dream book. Today I dreamt that I observed a train moving slowly towards the end of a train track which led to a dead end. At the end of this particular train track was nothing but water below. I believe the train track was destroyed somehow because it appeared to me that the train I seen in this dream was meant to continue moving forward across the tracks, but somehow the next set of train tracks were removed by something. Then the next thing I noticed about this train was that the train was filled with passengers who all looked like white people to me. The individuals inside the train wore spring or summer casual wear. And the next thing I also noticed with this train was that I picked up some kind of Spanish connections around this train. The train I seen was still heading towards a severed train track. This particular train I seen inside this dream could have been owned by Spain, or this train might have been located in Spain. It was also a nice day out inside this dream. Finally, the train had rolled off the tracks and it fell into a body of water. Next, I witnessed white people talking about the train that had just fell into the water. I believe the water the train fell into could have been a large lake or an ocean. Before I left this dream, I found myself on my knees praying for the people who died in this train incident. And as I prayed for the souls of the people who died in this train accident, I then noticed a blonde-headed white woman staring over me with tears in her eyes. Then I woke up from this dream. And I made 2 dream drawings about this particular dream. And the first thing I see in this dream is a train. And the train was over water, and it was a nice day out. And the train was white, and it was continuing moving forward. And then the next thing I see in this side of the street was that the train here began to fall into a lake of water, or could have been an ocean of water. And the next and last letter in this piece is the letter Y. This is section 8, letter Y. There's one dream in this piece about young black men. The first number in this piece is the number 1. This piece is called section 8, One Young Black Men Dream, or S8 1YBMD. In the month of November 4th, 2009, I recorded this dream inside my dream book. I had a dream that I was inside a store. The store was located on the corner of Halsey Street and Stuyvesant Avenue. I was inside this store with other shoppers. It was daytime. I noticed I was walking around this store with my briefcase. Then I looked towards the entrance of the store, and then I seen probably 12 young black men hanging out directly in front of this corner store. Then after I gazed upon these kids outside, I then resumed my shopping. Then moments later, I began to sense that these young black men outside the store were now thinking about wilding out upon a fat black girl who had just turned down Halsey Street. This female came upon the sidewalk where the black youth stood.